Fighting Alliance Championship 16, how did you get this fight lined up? I mean, like the opponent, was this the first opponent that they offered you? How did this fight come together?
No, definitely was not the first. We went through like 5 or 6 opponents. Just you know, shit comes up in life. I guess everyone's got their different reasons why they couldn't make it and whatnot. So we ended up with the right opponent though. So I'm happy. Fans are going to be happy. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Going through like multiple opponents leading up to a fight, and then you need to get into camp, and there's a lot of things that you have to situate yourself. What is the level of frustration?
It gets a little worrisome at points, because you're just like, am I training this whole time hoping to get a fight? And you're just doing the same repetitive things, showing up day in day out, just hoping they find someone. And Joe and the guys did a really really good job at sticking to it, staying at the task at hand. So we ended up with probably 3 weeks ago, I'd say, we got the matchup lined up. So I've had plenty of time, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, for yourself now, you've been around the game for a while. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a shorter camp or a longer camp?
I'd rather have more time just to make sure everything's fine tuned. I'm feeling great right now. I haven't quit training since I fought in May was my last time in, and I took a week vacation, and then I was right back in the gym. So I'm just staying ready. I don't want to get caught off guard again.
Yeah, let's talk about the last fight. Your first fight with the Fighting Alliance since the UFC. What did you think of that performance, man? Did you feel like you needed that 15 minutes to kind of test out certain things that you weren't able to test out in previous fights?
It felt really good, just to get back in the win column first of all. But it was a tough opponent. A lot of people don't realize how high level Josh Streaker was. He was a super game opponent, but what I did to him, I think it showed that I still belong in the UFC, and just that since I've been up here at Glory for a little over a year now, that I'm really starting to work out all those kinks. And we'll see once come October 7th that I'm going to make another statement and hopefully be right back where I belong.
Do you feel like a lot of people, mainly fans, right? They don't give enough time to fighters to let them develop. I mean, they just want fast, like instant gratification, basically.
Right. Yeah, I feel like that definitely. Like, you get in there and everyone wants to see that flashy knockout. Everyone wants to see crazy submission. No one really appreciates like a chess match when you're in there. So I think your casual fans are like that, but your seasoned fans understand.
What about you? Have you had run-ins with certain fans that were, that were not educated enough about you?
Oh, definitely. You get those fans everywhere, and you just entertain them.
Now, you went through the UFC machine, and I feel like that is so interesting to kind of dissect, right? Before and after. And while you were in the UFC machine, like, what did you learn most from all the experiences, all the fight weeks?
Um, I really learned a lot about myself. It sounds cliche for everyone to say that, but to be at the highest level and drop 2 fights, um, for what it is, I took my victories and my morsels out of them, but I just learned how to bounce back and really dug deep. Like, is this what I want? Is this what I need to be doing? And I made the right changes, and I believe I'm going to be back where I belong.
You also, after the second fight, there was a little short period you had a cancel fight, and then you returned and got the win. How was that period? After being released and then getting back into competition.
It was frustrating. Super. It's like you feel like your dreams are crushed, but it's on to the next. You just gotta pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. And I could have chose to sit back and whine about it and, you know, not fight again, or, just go all in and, look, in 10, 20 years, look back and know I did everything right.
Are you in like a rebuilding phase, or do you feel like you're in a developmental phase? You know, because there's different phases that fighters go through. Where are you at right now?
I really feel like I'm just, I'm growing every day. I'm learning so much still. I'm developing, I guess you would say. But man, I'm ready. I'm ready for the top competition. I see it every day in the gym, and I know what I'm capable of, and my coaches know, my teammates, my family, everyone knows what I'm capable of doing.
Now, your opponent Nixon, he doesn't have as much experience as you, but he is a tough dude. Like, what do you see him when you strip away the toughness? What type of fighter do you see?
He's athletic, he's got awkward movement. He's durable, he's gonna last for 15 minutes if you let him. But like you said, it's I've swam with the sharks, and I don't know if he has, but he's going to come October 7th.
Yeah, that's another aspect of it too. Is like when you have a fighter that has swam with the sharks compared to a guy that has not, that could be the difference maker in that fight, right?
Exactly. He's not going to put me in spots I haven't been in. I've seen more than he's seen, and I really feel like I'm hungrier than he is, and just all around I'm more well rounded than him. It's a fight at the end of the day too, so we're both going to bring it, and it's going to be a super good measuring stick for me.
With training camp, after the last fight, did you just jump right into back into training and helping your teammates out? Is that what you were doing?
Yeah, like I said, I flew out literally the day after my fight and went to Florida for a week with the family, and next Monday I was back in the gym, just back to grinding and helping teammates get ready and just living the life.
How important is that for you though, to take that week, be with the family, shut off MMA?
Yeah, it's very important, and I need to do it more. I get so caught up in this game and take so much time away from them. And like right now, I'm up in Kansas City, and they're back home. So it's a little tough, but I know why I'm doing it, and they understand why I'm gone. So it helps me sleep at night.
Yeah, definitely setting up the future for yourself and
Right.
whoever you need to take care of, right? So with the camp, is it all in Kansas City? Have you just completely moved?
Yeah. I still train back home at the pit. It's where I was, brought up from amateur to even my debut in the UFC. And my head coach there, Patrick Smith, he just was saying, we got to get you with more bodies. You need to see a lot of 55ers, and we didn't have that in small towns. So coming up here at Glory, it's really been able to, you know, get all these different looks that I need to grow and get to that next level.
The last couple of camps, has there been anything that you've really altered or changed, tweaked that has benefited you, in the fight?
There's always little things that I always work on and add to my game. I'm always improving and learning, and that's what James is really good with. Is he doesn't change you as a fighter. He just adds on to what you're good at and helps you build on with what you got.
Earlier, you mentioned that you have your morsels of from the fights in the UFC. Could you reveal any of those morsels? That's something that's real interesting to me.
The things like my debut fight. A lot of people know it. I took it on 6 days notice and had to cut a big chunk of weight, and um, I went to decision. I won the first round. None of that really matters. It's a loss, but I took a lot of pride in gutting. When shit gets dirty and grimy, that I can stick around, and I got the will and the heart, to tough it out.
Yeah,
And
the weight cut. Oh, go ahead.
right, right. And then the last fight I had was, got caught with a good shot from Borshev. I thought I was doing really well up until then. Um, that's just the game, man. And you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Yeah, you get caught. You saw it in last weekend. Aldana, she just like it came out of nowhere. I thought she kicked her in the crotch. To be honest with you, I
Right,
didn't even see it like the first time
right.
around. Right?
Yeah, the liver's
Yeah.
it's a dirty shot, man. It just shuts the body down. You
Sure.
just drop, and it's like your soul leaves your body.
Yeah, I've never been hitting the liver, but I've been hitting the throat, and that lasts for a couple of days, man. Like you think you have like something stuck in your throat, and
Right.
you keep swallowing. You're like, man, probably I gotta go to a doctor. I gotta get surgery or something, man. It's like you freak out. Well, at least me, I freaked out a little bit. What is it? The weight cut. To me, the weight cut is something that if you could get through it like you did, like mentally moving forward, I think that benefits you so much, right?
Right. And that was a big victory for me, morally to make that weight. I wasn't going to be deterred from that. So, like you said, it helps you really. That's part of the fight, when you make the weight and your opponent doesn't, you feel like you got an edge on them just because you're mentally stronger.
I was talking to Chris Montino, right? He fought in the UFC, and now
Right.
he's back on the region scene himself as well. And for himself, he said to me like, "Hey, when you get into the UFC, that's the dream, But I said the best part of it was him just getting the call. After that, it was just like so much extra stuff that you have to deal with rather than just fighting. And
Right.
did that ever get overwhelming to you a little bit?
Not really. I understood that's part of the job, and that's I was there with one of my training partners, Jake. I got to go through it, cornering them and seeing how it all works. So it wasn't too much for me to handle. In the LFA when I was fighting with them, it was similar, going through the region with them. So none of that really fazed me too much.
Ivy Nixon, man, what do you expect to do to him?
Man, really, it's gonna be just when I get in there, and everyone can say what they want to do or what they're gonna do, but once you get that man in front of you, it's different. People look at Nate Diaz, and they're like, oh, he's scrawny. I would piece him up or do whatever, blah blah blah. But until you're actually in front of that person, it's a different story. So I just think that anywhere the fight goes, I'm more seasoned. Definitely, if we hit the mat, I feel like I'm light years ahead of him there. So I'm just gonna push the pace and fight smart and look for the finish at all times.
Are you gonna get another one in? You think this year?
I hope. I would love to. I would love to fight in like December.
Really, like in the middle of the holidays? You know what I mean? That's a tough call right there.
It is, and it's
Yeah.
tough, but I'm 28 years old, man, and I'm just entering my prime. I just want to keep the ball rolling. I just want to keep banging these fights out.
Well, man, October 7th, Fighting Alliance Championship 16. You're back, man. Thank you so much for the time. And yeah, man, good luck in getting another one. Three fights, 3 in a row would be a pretty good little streak.
I need it. I
2023.
need to keep that steam rolling.